What are y'all up? I'm gonna see if this gonna work for the night, man. See what happens, man. I want to see how this gonna pan out. This is the only thing that seems logical, but we're going to see. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I wonder what's going on, man. Snoop, he been doing a lot of work. I mean, he been working his butt off. If anybody has noticed that, I've been noticing that. Yeah, man, I got me some honey nut Cheerios, man. Hopefully this helped me, you know, good couple bowls of them Cheerios, man, you know. Couple bags of them Cheerios, man. It's my first meal. First and last meal. First, second, third meal, man. Last meal. Man. That chocolate thing. Hmm. Well, unfortunately, no. I don't be looking forward to it. But after I eat these, probably another bag, I'll be tired. Well, I was like, man, what am I eat, man? I get tired of, cause I be trying not to eat out, man. I threw out, man. I wanted to take this food back and get my money back, $15 for them chicken strips, and it wasn't nothing but crust. I threw it out. I had that bag in my car since Sunday. I was pissed, man. $15 down the drain. I ain't even eat. Like I just gave him $15. But it's way on the other side of town, and I haven't really went to that side of town. Oh man. Oh, I gotta show you guys these designs. Ooh, man, I got these new designs. Oh, they cold. Um, yeah, I ain't sleep yet, Scooper. Scooper the pooper. Shoot, I couldn't go to sleep, man. So hungry. Hey, hey, hey. How y'all doing, Dustin, Finley, Leonel, Lionel, Linnell, Dustin? That's a trip. This lady looks like my boy's baby's mom, but this lady is Caucasian, and my boy's baby's mom is black, but she's real yellow. Dove Fox Herzog. I didn't know that. Wow. Man, I needed that on my stomach. Sometimes you know how you be like, man, what I'm gonna eat? You know you need to eat something, but you don't want to eat nothing. It's just I wanted something like a burger or something for real. I wouldn't mind some good fried chicken or something. Yeah, cool. Why my hand been itching? Oh, excuse me. My grandmother used to always say that. Like, well, my hand is itching. I need to give me another bag, man. I got to give me another one of these bags of these honey nuts, man. Them honey nuts, man. Go in the bag, man. Give me the bag of them honey nuts, man. Yeah. So I seen some opening, right? It's like two openings in my closet, right? But I don't understand it. That don't make sense. I don't see that being some opening to just the outside world. You know what I mean? I think those openings in my closet is like pipes or something or something. I don't think those is, but I don't know how they doing it, man. You know, it's they don't even need to come through the front door though to hit you. Damn, did my stuff leaking? Or did I just pour it down the wrong? Okay, I think I poured it down the wrong thing. Oh, dang. Maybe I just poured it down the wrong thing. Yeah, I think I poured it. Thank you. I try to make sure they be, you know, don't have no holes in these bags because I done got them and they had holes in them sometimes. So you gotta watch them. Or the seal's just not sealed up right and they'll just unseal sometimes. I didn't put them on the counter to pay for them and they didn't just Cheerios was falling all out. Yeah. I thought I ordered some cameras. I think there was a scam. Man. That money, boy, you see that money everywhere. They should. Yeah, I'm alive. Thank you, Mo. It's not really better, but it is, but it's not. It's crazy. Put it like this. Okay, yeah, I got a spot, to go to sleep, but somebody been getting in my house and doing stuff to me while I'm asleep. So it's crazy. It's like, wow. How do you explain that? mm. I made a mess too. All of my floor right here. Why this burger tastes like a egg? Before I end up throw this milk away that I left in here for weeks that I got sick off of. I wanted to really take it to forensics to see what it was, but I don't want to end up drinking it. I wanted to take it to forensics, man. Yeah, I don't see that. I just don't see that them holes up in them closets being holes like that. I don't see that. You know? I just don't see that, you know what I mean? Oh, I done forgot I need to wipe that up. I laugh at myself when I do this kind of stuff sometimes because I be like, man, dude, what is you doing? You goofy dude? Hey, God dang acting goofy like some goof dude. Yeah, spilled milk and Cheerios. Hey, they go through my whole house. They go through everything. They did it in my car though. They did the same exact thing in my car. Headquarters. I put some underwear up there, headquarters. Now you know where I'm at. Headquarters, man, them my peoples over there. They acting funny at headquarters. I've been undercover all my life, right? I ain't never turned nobody in. They said, man, you ain't never turned nobody in, man. Oh no, man, you can't come up in here, man. You ain't turned nobody in, man. You ain't did no work. Natty, 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 natty. They say, man, I understand your folks paid for headquarters and bought headquarters, all that. That sound good. But you ain't turned nobody in, man. Oh no, man. Oh no. Oh no, man. This new chief's in town. Say, man, the chief is good. He good. You see, he got a new haircut, man. That's my buddy, man. That's the chief, man. He all right, man. The chief, man. Chief always all right, man. That's my boy. Yeah. Chief all right, man. Man, I see them hoes up in there, man. I'm convinced. Oh, Lord. Y'all might not be able to get up in here tonight, man. Hey, man, y'all might not be able to get up in here tonight, man. Hey, if this don't work, ooh, they might pull them right through the. If this don't work, they got doors opening up in my walls. Other than that, this is what it is. We gonna see what's going on here. Natty, 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 yaddy, 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 yaddy. Oh my God! I woke up. All my whole private parts was burning. Nuts, all on my legs, all of my stuff. But it feels like somebody like spraying something on, you know what I mean, on my skin. It's like on my skin. I can feel it on my skin. Like, dude, what is this? So I already washed all my clothes and can't wear them. I smell them. I'm like, I can smell them that they're not, something is on my clothing and it's not from when they came out the laundry. So look, I washed my underwear, right? I washed my underwear out with some laundry soap in the sink. Hands, wash it out. Put it on the heater. Dry them out real quick, right? My all around my private parts is burning, like, uh, like burning, like my skin though. You know what I mean? Like my skin is burning on my all around my legs. Like something is like irritating it that has been, thank God that I cleaned it. You know what I mean? You know, because whatever that was on it was burning. Like, I'm like, damn, how is these people doing this? Anytime I fall asleep, they do something to me in my sleep. I'm like, ooh, there's a opening. Yeah, but they doing too much to just be spraying something. Yeah, they putting stuff all in my mouth, my private areas, and all of my skin. And I'm like, how is she doing this, dude? That's crazy. I put my camera on the futon, the couch, the futon, on the cushion. That's why y'all seeing me right now. Minister of Defense.
it might look like things are fast. It might look like I should be posting more often during this month, but the magic of editing makes everything look so much easier and pleasant. The truth is, it's been a nightmare. I've been stressing with a lot of things at the same time that I don't even share here on YouTube because I have other problems I never will share here on YouTube because they're not problems for you to know. But with the band in specific, it was a nightmare this month. I am happy that I got done some of the most challenging and difficult parts of the bundle so far, even though I have a lot of suspension work that needs to be done on this vehicle in order for me to feel that this vehicle is brand new. Because basically what I want to feel is that I have a vintage van, but with almost everything restored. So far, it's been a lot of work before I'm going anywhere, but I'm going to start going for short beach trips and little trips. This month, I felt very overwhelmed and excited at the same time. It was kind of like, wow, this is so cool. And then, like, why this is broken? Like, whoa, my things. Oh my God, why this broke? It is like ups and downs. And when you buy a used vehicle, and of course, a vintage 50-year-old van, you know that when you touch one thing, you might break another. So I am in that moment right now that for the next few months it's gonna be like this until there's nothing else to fix. And then when that happens, I'm gonna have a nice ass vehicle. And everybody that is calling me crazy right now, telling me that I'm wasting my time, they're gonna be in their words. When you see me in a specific not posting, it's not because I don't want to make money and post videos and have fun doing that because honestly, for me, it's much better if I post videos, guys. I'm gonna get sponsor deals. I'm gonna get paid by YouTube. So it's like, yeah, I want to post. But if you see me not posting, means I'm having a really hard time. When I did the fridge, I was overwhelmed after that, and I was like, okay, after this, it's gonna come like way more crazy stuff, and I'm gonna need all my brain capacity to work on that and do what I gotta do. Because when you're filming things, things take 4 times longer as well. So I was taking 4 times longer if I had to edit and post at the same time. So I hope I can have something for this week as well. I will be and don't get mad at me because I don't post, dude. A lot of you guys are really mean. Okay? That's me. I'm not posting. It's because I'm struggling. Right? Because me not posting means me not make money. Okay, guys? Be nice and all the people watching you. Guys.
New recreation center at Miramar. I used to go over there to Miramar Base and hang out. I used to go to all the little bases. They started shutting you down. Can't even go on there. But hey, I just laughed at what it said. It said active duty. Basically, if you ain't active, don't go over there and try to hang out. Yeah, I can feel my skin, man. It don't even feel right. Yeah. Cesar Chavez statue covered at Cal State Ceremony. Wow. That's big. That is crazy. Cesar Chavez. They got big Cesar Chavez. Got Cesar Chavez Day and Cesar Chavez. All kind of stuff. That is crazy. They're saying he's a child molester now, or he was a rapist and was convicted in the 70s or 60s. That's crazy. I feel my skin all on my body feel crazy. These people really trying to mess me up. Off the VA system. Ugh. Oh, so look, I cleaned my socks, right, in the sink. Cleaned them out, scrubbed them, cleaned them real good. Man, there was so much black stuff coming out of my socks that I just washed 2 days ago. Though. Is that crazy?
Madam Mayor and Council, if you decide to go with the regulatory, because it's a regulatory ban, if you decide to go with the regulatory, I'd recommend continuing it to the 15th, so that we would be able to make sure that all the regulations that you had asked for from the previous, it was continued to this specific day. Maybe not, we didn't have time to get them all in there, but if you wanted to do that, just to make sure that they're all in there, close the public hearing.
Thank you. This motion to continue this item to April 15th is now second. Thank you. There's a second.
That's the case, we should have sent staff. We've already done this before. We brought forward a regulatory apparatus. They spent 8 months working on it. They brought it back to us. No, because I want a strong light. I don't want us to vote right now. Yes, no, I need to. You certainly can do that, Mayor, to do a strong vote.
I feel bad because I was supposed to go to this tennis tournament and I didn't even go. And I was invited by a young lady and her mother,
I'll answer that question.
and I feel bad.
I'm still waiting for a full ban, so that's a vote for banning. Straw poll, I'll be the first one to say it. But I'm willing to talk more about it. And we've got more regulations coming back that are more detailed. I probably would have all of those. I'm willing to continue that. But I'm still waiting for
Thank you.
staff, yes, staff, there, did clarify that Dacker was willing to honor the contract and any contract. This is a software program, so we work regulations on that. Staff clarified that fact. If there are any other sticking points as to what you don't see in this proposal, that you'd like to see, potentially change your mind, I would ask why my colleagues identified those.
Man, I gotta get this proposal all the way tight to the right people.
My the anticipated TOT from this is, I think you mentioned 320,000, 324 approximately. I still don't think that would be enough. Sure, it'll be enough for the monitoring of it, but there's still a code enforcement aspect of it. And I don't think that's going to be enough to be able to enforce it. Previous hearing, I'm not sure if legally we're even allowed to do this, but it was just a suggestion or recommendation as far as the reason why this is even prevalent in our city is because the majority that we're coming in because of the rates, right? I'm not sure if that's something that we can utilize for enforcement or additional enforcement or supplemental enforcement for this. That I would ask you can hear it out at the next meeting if we do move forward. Please provide the answers to that if we're able to assess the fee for those special events, whether it's $1 or $2, I don't know what that looks like, but are we legally allowed to use that for enforcement purposes? So just to help assist from a cost of it as well. My personal opinion, it is whatever it is contractually both sides of the lease. I do not monitor the contract for the radio event proprietors, but I do know that there's some specifications in there. It's something, I think it's something that's negotiable unless it's still by law, and then I don't see where that can be. And then my final thought topic here is we already identified this on 4 or 5 locations already been identified as being problematic. Would we able to just start off with a ban on those locations and move forward with potentially looking at allowing it to happen, starting off with a ban at those locations and then move forward from there with penalties if they violate any without actually having the use itself in our code as either approved or not. We going after those people for violating something in our code that's not deny, doesn't give us a leg to stand on. So enough for us to do that. We have to stay with that.
Oh man, I'm tired. I hate that, man. I get so tired. I need to plug my phone up. Oh man, I forgot I had some of that, man. Man, I forgot I had some of them chocolate chips, man. And I got some coffee, but I ain't gonna even bust it up. Oh. Hey man, I forgot I had some of them chocolate chips, man. Yeah, they keep doing it. Is that crazy? I ain't even lie. I wouldn't lie about no. I wouldn't even make myself look stupid like that. That sounds so crazy and off the wall. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, it's really happening. It's unreal. Unreal. I might. I might even try some more cookies in the morning. Possibly. I don't know if I should do that.
Fireworks and they said they don't get fireworks. That is not true. That is not true. That is not correct. So there's what, yeah, there's what was fined and there's what was
Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm. This is the city of San Bernardino, California. Public hearing.
Yes.
Well, I wish I had somebody to get those to right now. Kind of late. Huh? Oh, mayor.
Comment. I think we can wait the presentation. This is mandated through the government code. I believe it's to advance the clean energy initiatives in the state. So I know we will once we close here. Let's our first presentation. Mayor and council, my name is Ron Alvarado, council candidate for the council seat in the first ward. I'm speaking tonight on ordinance NC 1662 regarding the expedited permitting for electrical vehicle charging stations. Modernizing San Bernardino's infrastructure is a critical component of what I call visible progress. As we move toward a greener future, our city must be prepared to support the technology that our residents and businesses are increasingly relying on. However, as we discuss expediting the permit process, we must ensure that fast and
Thank you.
Yeah, Mary. Mm.
We're asking because there's one technicality, and then I'm asking that you continue it just to make sure that we don't lose
Well, I'm done. I ate a stack of them joints. I should have fired my coffee up. I got one of them 32s now.
Mayor Graham, City Council members, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present. First, I want to talk about flock safety camera information. Questions have come up regarding San Bernardino's use of flock license plate
Yeah, I
readers.
know.
A flock camera is an automated license plate reader designed to capture images of vehicles, license plates, and unique vehicle features, such as name, color, damage, and road time. The city currently has 28 license plate readers.
Hmm.
We do not have
That's
any
amazing.
recognition capabilities on the readers themselves. Are not able to detect driver passenger
Trip.
error rates. Any data that is accumulated is stored for 30 days. Under California state law, data cannot be shared with federal immigration agencies. Flock statistics can be viewed by residents by visiting the San Bernardino Police Department website. The data
Oh,
includes number of unique vehicles, identified number of homeless,
yeah.
again,
What is a flock camera?
alert,
Flock safety camera.
identified vehicles,
Never heard of it.
California law enforcement partner agencies. The PD uses flock cameras to help solve crimes, making our community safer. Last year alone, they helped San Bernardino Police Department solve several homicides and dozens of
Wow.
fines here at the community.
Mm.
City
Flock camera. Been trying to find this if I can see if I can get my niece see her games, but they ain't been coming on. It's crazy. Last one was 8 days ago. Hey, that's a cold thing if they doing it like that. I seen an ad on TV for some cameras. I ordered the cameras. I ain't heard nothing else. Now it said it's like a furniture company or something. And I ain't seen the ad no more. I'm like, what the heck? Oh man. Oh, I really need to hook my camera up and plug it up because it's not charging right now. Actually, tired, exhausted, crazy, man. Oh, mm. Oh man. Wow. 6 ribs broken. Simple grills, trap down the road. Wow. Ambrose, 6 ribs. That is crazy. That is crazy. American girl. Hey, he had a twist. He said, "I'm here. I'm willing to cooperate." But he that dude that broke 6 ribs on the bed. Oh man. The chairman at that. That sound crazy. Mm.
From the IT or from us? From Homeland Security Department, there's HSI, is the director. What's their primary mission? Well, it's not a trick question. No, I understand that. And every agency, so we have specific missions that we are targeted to look at our aspect of protecting the homeland in different directions, different paths. And in different agencies, regional either 22 of there, we all need to be in the same boat, rowing the same direction, working for one common goal. And as I said,
Oh,
three things in life is
ugh.
secure the common.
Man, headquarters, my people, man. I keep trying to tell my folks, man. Headquarters, headquarters. Headquarters.
HSI specifically is very important because they specialize in human trafficking, human smuggling, counterfeit, fake products of that nature.
Man, I'm so tired. I hate getting tired. I know my body though. I ate that second bag of Cheerios, boy. Oh my God. Oh, shoot. Shit and sake. Like a black girl. Oh, oh, oh.
Who's behind the so billboard lawyers caught scamming accident victims. Hearing that the doctor in
Hey.
charge of the 10 times the normal rate, leaving clients buried in debt. The law firm under investigation for allegedly paying people to file false sex abuse claims, and the firm who embezzled millions from disaster victims. These so-called consumer attorneys are spending millions so nobody holds them accountable. Fight back at protectcaliforniaconsumers.com.
Check out the playlist tab on our main channel page to view any testimony in order from start to finish. Also support the channel by signing up for Patreon and get access to early content.
Pretty good.
Okay. He'll tell us about the history and the tension. He'll tell us that things are important as their own. But when he decided to pay his own, when he decided to submit, he became CNG. Hopkins, 7 days.
Smith, Golding, Justin Johnson, and Anthony Smith, also known as Big Joe. Now, Joe is the number 2 person being Joe. Smith will tell you that Golding said that there was a bounty on Adolph Horton's life. In fact, there are multiple bounties on PRE Garden. Golding told Smith that there was a $100,000 bounty on Adolph Horton's life. And the money is the money here. If Smith and Johnson completed this job. What did the 2 desperate people do? They agreed. And Golding asked for a $10,000 cut from each of them. He chose to ask for the cut from each of them. And one thing that is important to note is that Smith and Johnson didn't even really know each other, but they knew Golding. Golding was the link between. So let's fast forward to November 2021. Smith hears that Horton and other PRE artists are in town. It's Thanksgiving time. PRE often hosts turkey drives at different locations across the city. So they knew that they were around. Justin Johnson picks up Smith from Smith's father's house. And they go. They get to a stop on Airway. And at that stoplight, they see a special car pass through. And what is that car? A blue camouflage Corvette. Most people in Memphis know there's only one person in this city that drives that car in this particular town. Adolph. So what does Smith and what does Johnson do? They follow that car. They follow that car. The car parks in the Houston shop. And seconds later, Smith and Johnson pull up and in cold light gun down and kill Adolph Horton Jr. They get back in the car, speed off, but not before Horton's brother, Marcus Horton, fire shot and shoots Smith. So Smith and Johnson are in this stolen white Mercedes. But where did they go? They go to ditch the car. They ditch the car. And we'll hear from Sergeant Dabney that the car was at 1174 Bradley Street, which they later found out is directly across the street from the defendant's home. After they ditch the car, Cornelia Smith and Justin Johnson go to an apartment complex to change clothes and clean up their rooms. Cornelia notices he doesn't have his phone. He realizes that he left his phone in the white Mercedes, the murder car that they left across the street from the defendant's house. So what did he do? He uses Justin Johnson's phone to contact his own girlfriend, Angela Arnold, and you will also hear from her. You'll hear from Angela Arnold as she picks him up in that apartment. When she picked him up, he told her what happened. He told her he was hurt and told her it was missing his phone. So what did he do next? Smith contacted Golding from Angela Arnold's phone and asked to meet so he could get his phone back. Ladies and gentlemen, there are copious amounts of phone records, and Sergeant Browning will testify that these call detail records will support what Smith saying. And if that's not enough, Angela Arnold will tell you that she and Smith met with Golding after the murder so that Smith could get his phone back. But that's not weird. Smith will tell you that at that exchange, Gauguin gave him money to buy a car to hide the white Mercedes, to hide the murder car that was parked directly across the street from his own home. Not only that, but the day before Cornelius Smith was arrested, he ran into Gauguin. Gauguin was concerned. Gauguin was worried that Cornelius Smith had not been paid. And so what did he tell Smith? He told Smith that he was going to go to Prevay to make sure Smith got his money. Prevay is a lounge and restaurant that's affiliated with BMG Art. Ladies and gentlemen, choice. A choice to get two desperate people to agree to murder Adolf Horn. A choice to guarantee them money. A choice to ask for a cut of that money. A choice to help one of the killers get his phone back after the murder. A choice to make sure that one of the killers got paid after the murder. A choice. When you hear all of that, and when you hear all of the videos, and look at all of those videos, you will see the consequences of Gauguin's actions. Violence, death, loss, a man, a human being, taken from this world, one of those shocking ways, getting cookies for his family in broad daylight in his neighborhood during the holidays. At the end of this week, the state will be asking you, the jury, to make a choice. The defendant is charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and first-degree murder. Last week during selection, we talked about the areas of conspiracy and criminal responsibility. And once you have heard all of the evidence, the state will ask you to make a choice and find Hernandez Gauguin guilty of first-degree murder. That's like 400 dollars. First-degree murder. Thank you.
If you're making something that's then you for sure have bad players that are out there doing that. In my instance, I work in the board division of that piece. They've been a great partner for us in identifying what the problem is, where the problem is, and they figure out ways that they can assist us to take these things down and really drill into that whole piece.
Tired of concentrating on balance, Propel is the #1 EBT app. You have the website, check your account, scan, those transaction history, and get alerts when your deposits are away. Stay informed with easy-to-understand updates about your benefits. Keep your benefits safe with top-tier security features like card blocking, and shop smarter with real savings on groceries and everyday essentials. Goodbye 1-800-HELLO-PROPEL. Download the free app today. Playing that video button.
Hey guys, welcome to Monday Live. We're still here.
Of course you're still here. Where are you going?
Mom, Steve.
Hello, everyone. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and everybody's ready to start this week.
Yep.
It's a special week, isn't it?
It sure is.
What's coming up this week?
Halloween. What's coming up? Oh, my birthday. My birthday.
Little
Yeah,
treats.
I think at 75 years old, you start, you don't want to talk about your birthdays anymore. You're getting too old.
Let's jump into some questions. I did have a couple of questions from last week, Ross, before. A question from Bruh.
Right?
So Bruh wanted to know what happened to the Jews and the mafia.
In the early days, under Lucky Luciano, there was a lot of Jews. They were actually Murder Incorporated. They were tough. They more or less, through the years, phased out most of them. There was still Jews involved. We had a good relationship with Jews most of the time. We really never had problems with them. I guess they all went to school, quit the mob.
Yvonne wanted to know, does the Italian mafia have ties with the Mexican mafia?
Sure, they did business with them quite a bit.
Want to give a couple of birthday shout outs. We're not going to shout out Sammy yet because his birthday's on Thursday. So you guys stay tuned for that one. Happy early birthday, boss. Peter Allen just had a birthday on March 3rd. Amy Lewis is having her birthday on March 15th. So happy birthday to Peter Allen
Happy birthday, Peter Allen
and Amy Lewis.
and Amy Lewis.
And Peter, tell Lily Rose we said hello. Remember Lily Rose? He
Yes.
said she's 8 now.
Oh, she's 8.
Now 8. She's been watching you for 3 years.
Wow.
So Kenneth Sponberg asks, Sammy, did you know any of the wise guys involved in the so-called Pizza Connection heroin case? And did the Gambinos have anything to do with this case?
I believe Joe Ramon, Joe Piney, was involved. I believe he got arrested in that case. I don't know if he took a plea or what happened when we beat the case, but he was involved in the Pizza Connection case. And there was other guys who were involved in it. And, Joe Piney became the underboss after Frankie Chico was killed. So he was not only with us, he became the underboss for a short period of time.
Nick N., why didn't Chin select his brother Mario to be the next official boss of the West Side? And do you think Chin was influenced after he saw how John's brother Peter was received by the Gambinos?
No, I don't think he was influenced by that. I dealt with Mario Gigante, he was a good guy. He held him away from the life. The same thing, he never made his son and his brother Peter, Mario Gigante. He held him in high esteem, but he held him on the side so he wouldn't take a lot of heat. Chin had a way of thinking about those things.
Red Man, in your sent you a message, says, Sammy, last week I asked you what your proudest day was in the mafia. You said that it was the day that Tato made you acting captain of his crew. My question is, what prompted Tato to make you acting captain? Was there a specific situation that happened that made him make that decision so he gave you control? And what does it mean to be acting captain of a crew, but not the official captain? And
All right, there's a lot of questions in that, but I could unpack that. When I got transferred from the Colombo family and put into the Gambino family, I was under him. And he kept me very, very, very close because, like I said, when I went to him originally, he said, we talked for you, Carlo Gambino talked for you. If you embarrass us in any way, you'll die immediately. I want you with me every single day. So I was, and there's a lot of situations that happened. And I think I told you one time, I was in a and I asked him one day, why do you have me in these meetings? He said, I think you have potential. I think someday you're going to be sitting in my seat. So he thought I had potential. He thought I was fair. His teaching stuck with me. A year after I was made, he made me acting captain. And I think everybody was he could have made his son. His son was made the same day as me. But he chose me, and a couple couple of years later, guys came around and said, Tyler made the right choice. And every time when he wasn't around, they came to me, I dealt with them in a positive way, thinking always what would Tyler say and do. And I think that's the end result. He saw something in me that he liked, and he made me the acting captain. And it was one of the best days of my life, and I never disappointed him until the day I cooperated.
What does it mean to be acting captain of a crew, but not the official captain? Or is there?
Well, it's literally when the captain ain't around, you're their boss, and they all know that. So if they have a problem, like with Tyler, when Tyler wasn't around, they had a problem, they came to me, I helped them with their problems, I took care of things. Then I went looking for Tyler, and I told him, listen, Joe Blow came in, he had this problem, what did you do? And I told him what I did, good, great. And, but it's a powerful position because you know the next step for an acting captain is a captain, an official captain. And that's what happened to me after Castellano. Then I became a captain. Then I became the acting gunzier of the family. Then I became the gunzier. And then I became the underboss.
Last question. Were there any guys in the crew who were jealous about your new position as acting captain?
No, Tyler had a great crew of guys. I knew most of them. Big Louie Valerio, I knew his brother Butchie, I knew his brother Frankie. We grew up in the same neighborhood, right around the block from each other. A guy I grew up with all my life, Louis Tropia, was in that crew. So I was accepted very well. I never tried to bully anybody or put pressure on people. I like to joke and play around. So I didn't have any problems with anybody. I don't think there was any jealousy whatsoever.
Starling Cooper wants to know, what is Sammy's favorite pastime?
My favorite pastime. When I was young, I used to go hunting and fishing a lot. That was a good pastime for me. Even when I got older, I used to go hunting and fishing with Louis Molina. When I had my farm, I went out to the farm, horses and stuff like that. But I'm a little bit of a workaholic, so a lot of times I didn't really do too much but mafia stuff. Especially when I got positioned, there was a lot to do all the time. I did that from morning till night.
So Anthony said, sending you love from Buffalo, you mentioned before that Chin and Gaspipe hated John for obvious reasons, and they wouldn't sit down with John, but would with you. Was John insulted, or did he care?
No, John was very, very frustrated. Every time he had to talk to Gaspipe, Gaspipe was the underboss of the Lucchese family. And he would have to come to me, go sit down with your fucking friend and resolve this problem. And he knew they hated him. It was no secret. Later on, Chin was planning a murder of John, and he knew that too. George Gabriel, important guy in the FBI, he did a video one day, and he says that I was an important item to John and the family because I dealt with everybody. I was a good ambassador for the family, good spokesperson for the family, trigger puller, and everything. And this was his work. So the FBI recognized that as well.
You guys are so funny in the chat. I love you guys. All of you. You guys are so amazing. Thank you for being so kind. Okay, G. Junior Ramirez says, hey Sam, what can you say about Bobby Boreala's hit?
They were killing guys who were around John. Tough guys, powerful guys. Bobby Boreala was one. Me and John got busted. It happened when we got busted. And we found out that he was killed. There was a guy, Frankie, in the Lucchese family, pulled up with a car with a couple of guys in the car. He was in front of his house going home. They opened the window, hey Bobby. And when Bobby turned around to talk to them, they shot and killed him. We didn't find that out until quite a while later. But the same thing with Eddie Lee. He was a tough guy, a shooter. He was one of the shooters in the Castellano hit. And they killed him with those cops, those corrupt cops. Thought he was being stopped by
they do.
And, when they walked over there, they shot him and killed him. So they were killing guys around the strength. Because John always walked around with 6, 8, 10, 12 guys. So you really good, you know, there's bodyguards there, guys who got guns. It's hard to shoot 'em. So they were picking off guys around him to make it weaker.
Hey, Sammy, what do you think of reports that Gene Gotti is currently the alleged underboss or hired?
I never heard that. I don't believe it. I know Gene very well. He did a lot of years in prison, 30 some odd years. And he got out. His family was waiting for him. He's up in age. I don't think he wants anything to do with the mob. That's what I heard a while ago. Unless something changed in the past year or two, I don't think he wants anything to do with the mob.
Steve Jackson. Hey, Sammy, funny question, but how was the prison served food in the in the ABX, especially compared to state prison food? And did you have a favorite meal?
No, I don't really have no favorite meals in prison and in the ABX. The ABX didn't even have a kitchen. A prison near the ABX made the food. They put them in these big warmers. They kept them in the warmers, put them on a truck, brought them over. They were sitting in the hall. By the time you ate, it was 2.5 hours after they cooked it, and it was slop. And so I really didn't have anything. I mean, the best meal I would imagine is breakfast. You can't screw up eggs too much. And for me, that was a good meal. Everything else, you know, you want some commissary, a lot of times you would take what you could make, the ramen noodles, and put it in what they made, and jazz it up and fix it up a little bit. But even when they had chicken, chicken was good, but not the chicken they had. I mean, you gotta remember, they're buying surplus. It's not the cook's fault. They're buying crappy food. You know, chicken looked like a pigeon. It wasn't like a real chicken like we would eat now. Wasn't meaty. Just eating a scarecrow. So, you know, it was horrible. But he made you have to eat, so you did what you had to do.
Patience of consequence.
Patience of consequence. This is the jokes, right?
Why did the snowman have a smile on his face?
I don't know.
Because he saw the snowblower coming. Okay, patience of consequence, no more. Okay, no, but the serious question from patience of consequence. Sammy, back in the late 60s, could you learn more about life sitting in a social club at 2 a.m. with espresso, cards on the table, and a few old timers talking than guys learning today in college?
You know, there's nothing like street smarts. I mean, that's life. They're learning about things in life that you're not going to learn in college. And they don't become smarter because of that, but they learn about life, you know, situations. And there's no college classes that teaches you life, the bumps you're going to go against in life, problems in your marriage, problems paying bills, being broke. They don't teach that in college, but you do learn that in the street.
Was Roy DeMeo Nino's only soldier? It seems like Nino treated Roy like a captain.
No, the whole crew of Roy DeMeo, he was what you would call an acting captain. So Roy DeMeo had a whole crew, guys, main guys, and they were all under, you know, and he had some other guys, older guys who were with him too, you know. So he treated him like a captain. Listen, Nino was a tough guy too, so anytime he needed work or do something, bang, it went right to Roy DeMeo at school. And his own nephew, I forgot his name now, remember? Okay, we don't remember his name right now, but was the go-between between Nino and Roy.
Shout out to Timmy Main. Very generous kick up to you. Said happy birthday, boss.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Elgato's in here. Hey, Elgato.
How you doing, Elgato?
Hey, implications of consequences back in. Hey Sammy, I told my doctor I broke my arm in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those 2 places.
That's a good one, but I'm ready to use that one. That's a good one.
Jerry, good evening, Sam. Do you know Vince J. Viola?
Lee Viola. The name is very, very familiar. If you could tell me a little bit about him, yeah, the name is very familiar. I think I do know.
Nope, no question, just a comment. We need Sammy to negotiate peace with Iran.
Yeah,
Amy Rose in your super chat, happy birthday, boss. I wish I'd been around to learn street smarts from you because I grew up really street stupid.
all right. There's both sides of the both sides of the fence.
JP Will, did you ever meet a street guy they called the Muffin Man? He lived on Drury Lane. Happy birthday, boss.
No, I didn't. No, I saw a lot of videos about the Muffin Man. And no, I don't remember anybody being called a Muffin Man.
Okay, I'm gonna pass this back over to Sterling. She can get to Instagram and TikTok.
Hey guys, I have Tim from Instagram. Says it was awesome to meet you at church yesterday, Sammy. Have a great week.
Thank you so much. Yes, I do. He was with a young girl. He's became a born again Christian, and he came over and met me. And if this is the guy, this is the guy. And great. And he's opening up a little video about Christianity and stuff like that. And I told him to get in touch with me on Monday Live, and talk about you. Nice kid, growing up in Liberty. Listen, going to church, I don't care what religion it is a good thing for kids. They learn different things, they learn good things. It's not always bad things, bad things, bad things. And these kids were very polite, really nice kids.
I have Frank on Instagram who says, did you know that Al Capone used to stay in Rimrock, Arizona? It was his hideout in the 1920s. Have you ever visited it?
No, I never visited, I never even heard about it. And I don't even know where it is. Red Rock?
Rimrock is up in the Verde Valley. We can do a field trip. Field trip.
All right, we can do a field trip.
I have another Frank on TikTok. Whose boss have a pretty swipe?
I really don't pay attention to bosses' wives or families in that way. I mean, I think Paul Castellano had she looked like a grandmother to me. She wasn't pretty, sexy, but she had a pretty face like my mother did. Real nice face. You always brought a smile to your face when you saw her. They were good people, and they were pretty in a different way. They weren't hot or sexy, if that's what you mean. And if they were hot and sexy, I don't even look. Paul's daughter wanted to go out with me one time for dinner and some drinks, and I wouldn't go. I refused. Not that there was going to be anything, but I didn't even want to be in the same joint alone. It looked like a date, and I didn't do it.
I have user 5233 on TikTok who says, I love your hat. Who makes it?
I'm not sure. I got this hat from my grandson. Gave me this hat one time when I got out of prison. This one, I don't know where he got it, but he gave it to me as a gift. And you can buy these hats. There's different companies that sell them. I bought some. Some of them I was given gifts. These hats. And this particular one came from my grandson.
Bit of a collection.
Yeah, I got quite a few. 2 dozen.
Sponsors, taking for
For a moment, but for the years
president and employee.
time passes, Limo stays with you every season. Limo One Plus robotic mower.
Question, Pastor. How the flavor go crazy?
use the eardrum and our those.
Only at Checkers and Rapids.
Okay.
I have Knock Knock Who's There 7, who says, thank you for buying us ice cream when I was a kid playing stickball with Gerard.
Okay, so
C2 on TikTok would like to know, did the mob ever get involved with the Freemasons?
no, not that I know of.
I have Jay, who says, hi Sammy, how did you fight people and were they bigger than you most of the time?
I think they were bigger than me all the time. You know, I was always short, my ass off. Height and weight, it means a little bit, but really what means something is heart. When you have heart, I mean, Jimmy Emma, I grew up, he was in the Rampage, smaller than me. I mean, the whole Brooklyn was afraid of him with his hands. And anything else was dangerous too, but with his hands, he was a beast. He'd rip you up.
I have JR181 on Instagram. Do you think that Michael Corleone shouldn't have killed Fredo? And what would you have done in that situation? Godfather 2.
I think he knew that Fredo lied to them and he double crossed them for money and stuff like that. I think he did the right thing by killing him. Is the question that what would I do if I was him? I would kill him.
I have David here on TikTok. A wise man once said to me that the greatest thing that you can give someone is your time because it's yours. What are your thoughts?
That's a great saying. It's a great saying.
Sammy, what's one piece of advice about business that you think is the most important?
Be honest, be fair with people, and people, no matter who you are, I got a bad background. And people are not afraid of me. Sterling here and Mina and people working for me, they know I'm never going to hurt them. I live up to my word. I try. Sometimes you know it's hard. Sometimes you can't make what your thoughts are happen for them. I try to help people in business, and people in business want you like if you're a plumber. If there's a problem, they want you to send the plumbers down and take care of the problem. They don't care how tough you are or nothing. So it's important to be honorable, trustworthy, and when you give your word on something, it's actually more important than a contract. Live up to your word. Those things in business, people will come to you, but you have to know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, I had a drywall company, I had 200 carpenters working for me, and contractors call me all the time. You know, pick up the blueprints, they wanted me to bid on the job, they wanted me to get it. They knew the job would get done, they knew there would be no bullshit involved. You know, we got in and we did the job. And I think that's part of the reason I excelled in the life as well. There's guys who were just as tough or tougher than much tougher. And they weren't trusted, so they don't excel. You have to be trusted by people. You gotta live to your word, gotta be fair. Going back to that question, why did Tyler pick me? I guess I always was that way. I learned that from my mother and father. No matter how I was in the mob, I always remembered them and how they treated people, how good they were in business, how many people loved them, trusted them. That's trust and respect. That's important in business. It's important in life, in everything. So
Yeah, Chuck on TikTok says, your word is your bond as a man.
absolutely. And you know, even in your marriage, when your wife trusts you, you have a much better marriage. You're always bullshitting your wife. Everybody bullshits their wife sometimes, but it shouldn't be something that's a norm with you. Because now she'll never believe you. You'll never have a comfortable marriage. I had a good marriage. We didn't fit. There's too many problems, but we're still friends. And years after they broke up, because I was honest with things. You know, sometimes you don't want to be honest, but sometimes it's better in the long run.
Sponsor, stick and fight. You can open website, use your phone to scan the QR code.
I was making so much
Stick and fight.
I wanted to earn money in my free time, but I didn't want to go out and get a boring 9 to 5.
That's really the website, use your phone to scan the QR code.
There are opportunities in over 4,000 cities. Signing up was super easy. And before long, I was already making deliveries. Now, I get to make my own schedule and keep 100% of my tips. Download the DoorDash driver app and get started today.
Loading.
Stan6969 on TikTok. Did the mom ever swap in cheaper materials on construction jobs and pocket the difference?
I never did that either. That's dangerous. When you have materials that are important to the structure of the building, I didn't build houses, I built buildings. I worked on houses too, but mostly on big buildings. If you buy stuff that's inferior to pocket the money, something could go wrong with the building. You could hurt people, kill people that way, and people will see that, the general contractor, the owners, and they'll know, and there's laws about that. That's poison to do that. And you develop a reputation for that, nobody will ever call you for a job.
So, question from Democratic Relic on TikTok. Sammy, what would happen if it was found out that a made man was stealing money?
Well, it depends on the situation. You could be killed, or you could be chased. You know, they want to get you. Some guys don't want to kill you. I didn't want to kill everybody who's crook, but you want to get them away from me. So I would chase, get away from me. I don't want to do business with you. You know, we had a guy who came to us and wanted us to sell pharmaceuticals. Aminos with us. And then I was willing to do it. It was good. It sounded really good. His father did it before him, business. He sent me down stuff to sell, and I would make a good profit. And I noticed that the stuff he sent me, the date on the bottle, in other words, expired. And I called him up and I said, listen, the date is expired. He said, it doesn't matter. They're probably older people. They don't recognize it. It goes, you're not going to have no problem. No. I told him to stop the calls. I'm not doing it. I'm not selling people pharmaceuticals that the date is expired already before they even got it. No, I'm not doing it. So you have to stay strong to your convictions. Don't let money control you. You control the money flow and the people who want to do business with you. You control them and being honest.
Ransom for enemy loading.
Propel is the number
Sponsor, stick and fight.
instantly. Stay informed with easy to understand updates about your
Use
business.
your website, use your phone to scan the QR code.
Like our market and shop smarter with real savings. Download the free app today. Sell to millions
Stick and fight.
online with Shopify's social media and marketplace integration. You can sell your products directly
Use your
on social
website,
channels
use your phone to scan the QR code.
by connecting your store to Amazon, eBay, and more. Head over to Shopify and start your free trial today.
Play next video button.
I would love to cook for you, Sammy. I'm a great chef. Give me a chance and you'll love me.
All right. My son is a good chef. And he's not always here, so maybe you could fill the bill. Who knows?
Your barber trash on TikTok. What is the biggest difference between the New York and Chicago family?
they're similar in a lot of ways. They didn't answer to the commission, they weren't part of the commission. Maybe they were in the beginning, but they weren't, for a long time. Being in New York, New Jersey, and places like that, you know, the commission ran all the families, there was rules. They didn't run them, but there was rules. Chicago didn't have too many rules. I'll give you an example. We had a rule not to use bombs or to kill women or children, innocent people. Chicago was using bombs, machine guns, everything. And their reason for not using bombs, it doesn't know who it's going to kill. Bomb goes off, who's ever around, innocent people could be killed. People could be in a car. When I saw Frank Chico killed, and it's another reason. It's really a horrible way to go. If you want to kill them, shoot them in the head. Don't blow them up. I mean, so Chicago was different in that respect.
Why on TikTok would like to know if you could redo one hit, which one would you do over again?
I think I would do a lot of them over again, but, you know, really, I'm not a fan of hits. I know I'm involved in a lot of them. That was my job. I'm really not happy with that. There's never been a point, I don't think, where, I mean, I guess the one that not that I enjoyed it, but I don't want to say that, but I was satisfied with was the Plaza Suite hit with that guy who was a drug dealer. He came in, he tried to bully me, tried to take over the thing. He had me and my brother-in-law pinned with a machine gun. And I was so fucking angry with him. I killed him that same that night. But other than that, you know the guys, most of them, you'll kill them. Because they broke rules. Now, I understand why they had to go. And I was part of it, but I didn't enjoy it. It's not something I like to see somebody die or clean up a mess or whatever. It's not something that I was really psyched about. I like hanging out in the club, playing cards, bullshitting, going out with broads, doing this and doing that. I enjoyed all of that stuff. I really wasn't all excited about doing this. But I was good at it, and I was in the Colombo family where I did my first murder, and I was on the Castellano I did murders, and then on the John Gotti I did murders, and 99% of them were orders that I had to be on. There's very few, the Plaza Suite guy, I did that without even orders. But usually, that was my cup of tea. I would fight. If I got mad at you or something, I would chase you or I'd punch you in the fucking face, but I wouldn't want to kill you. Even when I had a fight, some guys like Jimmy, if he beat you up, he would break your arms, your legs. He would really mangle you. People were afraid to fight him. Now, when I won a fight, it was over. I didn't stomp him and keep doing something unless he did something completely crazy. And I don't even recall any of that because that's not something I got over. If I won the fight, I won. So,
Okay, I'm gonna jump back into your super chat. I have a question from, I don't know if it's No-Mo. Sammy, it's an honor. If you were made boss and had to appoint those in your crew out of your squad of picks on your website, who would you appoint and why?
the captain of the line,
Yeah, like who would you, basically, if you were boss and you had to appoint people from your crew, who would you appoint and why? What position would you?
well, Stanley was one of them, extremely loyal. I never got to make him, but he would have got made if he lived. He was killed. I would have made him captain, no doubt about it. He was another guy that was fair, tough, and he wasn't bloodthirsty. And most of my guys I would make, you know, man, I made him on his bed. So my crew was, we had the same, you know, thinking. It's close to everybody. My guys wouldn't hesitate to kill you, or shoot you. But they didn't go out of their way to do that. You'd have to do something to warrant that. So I like when they're ballsy, but they're not bloodthirsty.
Next question is from El Gato. Salud Zusani, what does Rampers mean? Grazie.
Rampers, it was just the name of the gang. I don't know if it had any special meaning, but it was the name of the gang. They were in existence when I was super young. Because there were guys, the Ramper Seniors, the Ramper Juniors, and then there was the Ramper Midgets, that was us. We were the youngest crew. So guys in the Ramper Seniors were 10, 12, 15, 18 years older than we were, and they had that name. That's the gang that I joined. I don't know where they got that name from, from what history or part. You know, I had a couple of stories. I never really knew.
Joe from Jersey. Hey, Sammy. Happy birthday, brother. Love you. Sammy, tell us some news stories about Frankie DeChico, please.
Frankie DeChico, there were so many stories, about him. I mean, he was just a great guy with everything. I'll give you a story to show you something. I was standing on Beth Avenue with Frankie DeChico and Angelo Ruggiero, John Guy's partner, this guy he grew up with. And Angelo Ruggiero parked his car on Beth Avenue. When we went outside, we were talking, and he went by his car, and he realized somebody broke into the car and stole the radio. And he came back, he was pissed off. He said, somebody stole my radio. So me and Frankie said, when you bring it in, the dealer, they'll put a new radio in, not the end of the world. And so what happened is that some kids in a car passed by, neighborhood kids, and they stopped in front of us. They said, you want to buy a radio? They had a stolen radio. And we walked over to the car. Angelo Ruggiero hit this kid in the face, grabbed the radio. That's my radio. Frankie said, hey, whoa, stop, bro, what are you doing? Looked at the radio, it's not your fucking radio. These kids are out stealing. They just asked a question because they know we're like, street guys. So Frankie's, right away wanted to protect the kids. We could have beat them up. But for what? They didn't steal his radio. See, that's being fair. Frankie was fair with things and people. He was always there for me. Every time I was in trouble in my life, he was 4 or 5 years older than me, maybe a little more, but he's always behind me, took my back, always there when I had a problem. And there's a lot of stories with Frankie. His whole family was in the mob. Matter of fact, his father, Boozy, was under title. He was in the same crew I was in. And his father and his uncle became a main guy. There a whole bunch of the Chicos got made. And some of them that didn't get made, Frankie Fab, tough guys, they're good people. The women, the wives, they were all good people. They were all mingled in the life one way or another. The wives didn't do nothing, but they stuck by their husbands, took their backs. They're all good people. Frankie had a million stories. I'll give you one story, how tough he was. There was a guy, Mimi, who was in the Colombo family, a captain, real tough, bully type of guy. And he had an argument with Frankie Chico's father in the club. Frankie DeChico wasn't made yet. And he heard Mimi abusing his father. He came running towards Mimi, knocked him to the floor, pulled out a fucking gun, stuck it in Mimi's mouth. Everybody screamed, don't pull the trigger, don't do it, don't do it. The guy's a captain. He would have died for that. But that's Frankie. That's how tough fucking Frankie was. And any time, like when he had Roy DeMeo's contract, he will call me up. He says, Sam, I got Roy's ticket. You don't confide me, Trev, with that kind of stuff. And I said, where are you? Fifth Avenue, I'll come down and see it. I went down and talked with him. When I was asked to be part of the Castellano hit, at first I said no, I didn't want to be in it. I went to Frankie to talk, and he's the guy who convinced me, let's take Paul out. It needs to change and become what it's supposed to be, and we'll make John the boss. That's it. There's 100 stories in my life. But,
Was Frankie a captain?
yes, no, yeah, his own, George Chico, became captain, and he became the other boss right away. I believe so. I'm not sure.
Very, we can get through. Fifteen floor to floor.
Hello, sitcoms are back. How's that? Funny, complicated, single. Don't tell my husband. No, she's okay. She's right.
Everybody knows, the place to find a place is a
So I started going live with that, Google Live, just for fun. And then for other people were joining,
Next, use the website, use your phone, and provide code.
this is wild. All I can say is, ever try a live streaming app, try Google Live. Oh my god.
Fifteen private. Use the website, use your phone, and provide code.
Downloaded it, answered some basic questions, and it saved me from paying $121 a month for car insurance to $57. Click of a button like that.
I got that quote, I switched, and I'm now saving $110. $110 a month that I can now spend on my kids. Huge stress reliever off my plate. This is your sign to check out Jerry. You're not gonna regret it. Okay.
Well, Frankie had 100 stories, good stories. And another guy liked to play around, have laughs and talk stuff, you know. And he was involved. I loved when he used to shoot crap and lose. And he, you know, there's the cushion going around the table. He would shoot the guy 7 out, and he would blow. Oh my God! And he would get so mad, he'd bite the table. So it was just great. Guys busted out laughing. He was just a great guy. Everybody loved him. People feared him because they knew he was no joke. Stuff with his hands too. Yeah, it was big. Stuff with his hands. His hands, gun, whatever. But he was fair, and people didn't fear him. They respected him. There's a difference. I think they fear that, but you gotta be stupid. Guy, you know, he'll kill you, he'll break your face with his hands. But that's not what he was. He was known for being fair and tough at the same time. And that's an important thing. And I think that's what I wanted to be, and that's what I was. Yeah. Everybody in that room was older than me, much older. Even Charlie Boy, his son, was 2-3 years older than me. So it doesn't matter how old you are or how long you've been around, it's what kind of a guy you are. Are you capable of fitting in that position? No. We just answered that question, but no. My son is here, just came late, so I didn't hear that question. No, there was no animosity at all. Matter of fact, some guys, I answered the question before Gerard, I'll answer it to you, is that guys came over to me after a while and said, listen, Sammy, you got me as the captain. You thought you were a little young, I was. And, but Tyler really made the right move. I was proud of him, guy. So there was no animosity. And I never try to bully people. As the acting captain, when Tyler's not around, I'm supposed to play him and be him and be fair to the guys. I thought that's my job, and that's what I did. So I earned my respect with them. It took a little while, but not long.
Jamie Reed. No question or comment, just kicking up, Sammy. Hope you're good.
Thank you, Jen.
Another question. Hey, Sammy, I've followed you and Mafia News since the 90s. My grandpa was in the Mafia in Canton, Ohio. He owned Middays Tavern. Don't know if you knew anyone in the line from Canton, but I grew up in that bar. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I didn't know anybody in that area. I knew there was a mob there, but I didn't know the guys.
Jonathan says, hi, Sammy. My little girl Olivia is 14 tomorrow.
Congratulations, happy birthday. 14, what a great age.
Gotti Winter. Sammy, how you doing? Just a big up to you, boss.
How you doing, Charlie?
Let's see. Jack plays games. No question or comment. Just a kick up to you. Yes, Canlet. Boss, you think the new era of cops need to stop the dancing on TikTok like clowns and get back to being tough like cops when you were younger?
Yeah, I don't think they should, I got, you got bird? No, that's a chimney. You got stuck in the chimney. And they must have a little, I think they have a nest, in this little birds, you can hear them in the background. No, leave them alone. Leave them alone. They're okay. But if you hear birds chirping, that's right in the fireplace. But, and yeah, they should stay on business, but, the cops should, you know, when I was young, they were horrible. I mean, you got beatings. See these things like these, that's going on today, people were throwing snowballs at cops, they were beating the shit out of them, stuff like that. And even when you got busted, a lot of times, you know, that's too extreme. I don't think they should be like that. But, you know, I think they should be like they are now, pretty much. I don't see too many of them dancing, but yeah, they're pretty good. You know, the FBI, everybody's doing great jobs. I even think, nice, I know people like that, I think they're doing a good job, a tough job. And, you know, listen, sometimes they're gonna take people down that shouldn't be taken down. That happens. You know, there's always gonna be something wrong, or you're always gonna get a bad cop. You can't poison the whole thing is bad. Most of them, there's thousands of them, and most of them do good things. Now, the few that do bad things, they should prosecute them themselves, get them out.
Sammy, which experience left more impact on you? Your induction ceremony under Paul, or when you led the induction ceremony and became the one inducting soldiers into the Gambier family?
I would say the first one, because I didn't know the rules. I mean, I knew what the mob was. I wasn't naive. I knew a lot about it. But induction, I mean, he explained it. They explained it perfectly. And they explained some of the rules. And I think I learned a lot. You know, when I came out of that, I was on cloud nine. I knew, and I was told by people, you are now a friend of ours, big guy. You're part of our family. Those were words I just never forgot.
Jack, hi from Scotland, first time chatter. What was your scariest moment in the Mafia and how did you get out of it unscathed?
Going back to the hit in the Plaza Suite, that guy tried to take over, you know, the whole story. I killed him that night. I didn't ask permission. And I didn't ask permission for a reason. It was that I knew Paul would say yes on the hit, so I just did it. And he took it as an off-the-record hit. Now, when you do a hit off the record without permission, rules are you could die, and usually you will. And then he wouldn't talk took 19 days before he had me and Louis Leo put down and talk with him in New York. So I guess I really wasn't sure if I would be killed or not. I mean, I'll give you I had my whole crew come up to my farm. And I said, I think me and Louis are in big trouble. I said, here's why I have you here. You gotta give me your word. If I disappear or I'm killed, I want you to tell me that you'll take care of my wife and my children. They all said, yeah. They came back the next day with shotguns, pistols, every fucking thing, and said, let's go to war. They brought their wives. They wouldn't even leave the farm no more. I said, no, we can't win this war. And so when I went down and talked with Paul, it was a scary moment. Because not only it's me and Louis, my whole crew's in trouble. And but the conversation went well, and I got through that moment. So I wasn't scared. I didn't, we were in Manhattan at a restaurant. I didn't think I would get killed right then and there, but I thought I was going to get killed for what I did. And, you know, Paul was the type of guy, he would just call you down, talk to you, and say, all right, now get the fuck out. You're better off running. You're going to go. And my thing was that if he told me something like that, I was going to say, listen, it's not any of my crew. It's me. I gave them orders to come with me. They don't know I didn't ask. So if you want me, I told him, if Tommy's got a gun, give me the gun. My car is outside. Tell me to kill myself. I will walk out, I'll put the gun in my mouth, and I'll pull the trigger. But my crew had nothing to do with this.
Aussie Wolfhound asks, and then there was a correction by Xavier. Sammy, did you know a guy named, I think it's Louis, haha, who would always say haha before he whacked a guy? Larry Mazza mentioned him in an interview.
Louis, tough guy. I never heard that story about him saying before he killed the guy. I don't even believe that to be true. But I knew him. I didn't know him personally. He wasn't a friend of mine, but he was a main guy, he was family. And he had a little bit of a reputation as well.
Bubba wants to know, were there any big guys who should never have got that honor in your opinion? Anyone who should have been, who wasn't?
Listen, I can just go back to this guy, Louis DeBono. From what I found out while I was having a problem with him, is that his father was a made guy. He couldn't get me, Louis DeBono, and his father paid money, but it was way back in time. And that's how he got it. And he didn't belong. There's a lot of guys, younger guys, I don't want to start mentioning names. There's some guys even admitted, John Jr. admitted he shouldn't have been in the mob. So I'm not knocking him or anything, but there's guys who really didn't fit the bill. Now, I know you love your son or your brother, whoever it may be, but you have to face reality. Some guys don't fit. And just to make them, and John Gotti made what a Pete. Now, they used to have a poker game in their place, and he used to cut the game. Pete, get me a coffee. He was working, and he would get messages to break the job. So I understand you want to make it, because he's getting messages from many guys. He should be a made guy. I don't want to go with a message that's important and give it to a guy who's not made. I don't care if it's your brother, your mother, your father. I don't care who it is. But so I can understand him making him a made guy. Then he made him a captain. Then he became the fucking boss. It was ridiculous. He didn't know what planet it was on. And it's a lot of people in his family did the same thing. Now, you take Gene Gotti, totally different guy. He belonged in the life. I think he belonged in the life more than John did. Some people will agree with me. Some people won't. But most people who do Gene and John, I think Gene should have been the boss ahead of John. But Gene wasn't flamboyant, did his thing. he was a drug dealer, some guys, and he was put on the side. Eugene was a tough guy, honorable guy, tough guy, the whole nine yards. So there's guys who belong in the life and guys who don't.
Xavier wants to know, did you guys ever ask Chin during a commission meeting about Frankie being killed?
No.
Al Star, drop your question in the comments, please, because I must have missed it when I was on the other screen. Okay. I'm going to ask one more question because we need to wrap it up. Joseph Marshall wanted to know what happened to Joey and Nikki Russo after John took over, and also what were they like?
They were much older. They died, you know. They went back to Trenton. They were with us until they passed away. And I don't think they had much to do with John.
That is it for this week. Everybody wish Sammy a happy birthday because his birthday's on Thursday. Happy birthday, boss. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
about it
Thank you.
next week. That's it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 questions that I will ask at the top of the hour next week. Real Ren, Al Star, Jason Brett, El Gato. That's it. Take us out, boss.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna wind it up. I'm gonna do my usual. Adios, motherfuckers.
Chime, sponsoring, sleeping life. Using a website, use your phone to scan and QR code. Tired of calling the sleeping life EBT balance? Propel is the #1 EBT app trusted for using the website, use your phone to scan and QR code. History and get alerts when your deposit went away. Download the free app today. Play next video button.
We are live, boss man.
All right, we are live. Here we go, Monday live. I want to apologize for being a little late. I had an unexpected guest come in. I'm not supposed to say who, and it'll go crazy, but it was my parole officer stopped by for a few minutes to say hello. And so she's having a heart attack now because she said don't say that. But it was a great guy, normal visit, and great guy.
We ready to jump in?
And I'm ready to jump in.
Hey guys, welcome again to another Monday Live. We are gonna start off, well, before I start off, there's a few things that I wanna say. We are coming out with a new Christmas card for everybody. So just wanna make sure that everybody is aware. Christmas card is gonna come out later on this month. Please, everybody, head to the merch shop and pick up all of your Sammy merch. We do have personalized items that Sammy can sign for you. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like on Patreon, Instagram, TikTok. I also want to say, Linda, do you remember Linda? Linda and Ed
Yes.
at breakfast. So Linda, unfortunately, took a really bad fall, ended up needing surgery. She broke her wrist, fractured the other wrist, and she fractured her knee. So it was a really bad fall. So want to send healing and strength to you, Linda.
Well, my prayers are with you, and, you know, that's a hell of a trip to break your wrist, all those things, but just take it easy and one step at a time, and you'll get better.
Kenneth, his mother passed away on Wednesday. So sorry for your loss, Kenneth.
Is that the guy we put,
His mother was struggling with cancer.
yes.
Yeah, she was in hospice.
And she passed away. My prayers are with you and your family, and at least least she's not suffering right now anymore, and she's in God's hands. So, and everybody who gave a little something to her and her family, appreciate it. And, you know, we're all gonna get old, and we're all gonna die someday. So at least she's not suffering anymore. And, my prayers are with her. pal.
I see you all in the chat. I am so sorry that I'm not on top of responding to everybody, but I see you, Sean, Denny, Francisco, Boz, Exactamundo, Jessica. Hi, guys. If I didn't say hi to you in the chat, I promise I see it and it just went too fast for me, but I am there. So we're going to start with our questions. I had Ryan Brown ask, have you ever met Angelo Ruggiero Jr.? He said that, he heard that he was a tough guy like his dad.
I'm not sure how tough he is, but I knew him as a kid when I knew Angelo. It's a lot of years ago. He was a kid. I met him, seemed to be a nice kid. He was Angelo's son. That's the only way I knew him, so I really don't know how he turned out. I hope he's a good kid. Just because he's a tough guy, that doesn't mean he's a good kid.
I want to get to Redman's question. Redman said, Sammy, we've heard about the NBA as coach setting up and rigging poker games. I was wondering if the mob or anybody trying to rig card games, do you know exactly how they tried to rig them?
Listen, when I was younger and into life, we had card games. I never rigged a game. I cut the game and we made a living that way. I never rigged the game. I wanted my players to come back, have a good time, whether they won or lost. They knew they were in a legitimate game. So I never rigged a game. That's greed. I wasn't greedy. We made a good cut, good living doing that. I wanted it to go over a long period of time. So I never rigged a game, never tried to rob them. I made my end. I gave my envelope up. Everybody was happy. I always kept it as good as possible. Somebody came in to try to rob us by rigging the game. We caught them. It's a whole story about it. I've done it. I was dead against it. So that's not something we did. And even other guys, and other families, I don't remember them, rigging a game. They wouldn't want to do that. It's our game. We want to keep the game clean and alive. So we never try to just come in and rig a game and bust it out and all that shit. We never did that. I never.
So the second part of his question was, everybody is surprised that 4 mob families were working together. Obviously, we know they've always been working together. My question is, have you ever heard or went to the Sinatra Club? It was supposed to be a neutral club in New York where all the 5 families would go, and it was owned by Sal Polisi.
I never went to the Sinatra Club, but all the clubs, there was no such thing as that you owned the club and only your family went there. The Copacabana, guys went to different clubs or restaurants. There was no such thing as this is my club and nobody goes to it. You wouldn't want to do that. That's crazy. So I never went to the Sinatra Club, but clubs weren't made, you go into business, you want a lot of people to come. You don't care what family they're in or what, legitimate people, illegitimate people. You want to make that club get off and be comfortable there. So I never went to a club, that kind, regular club where guys hung out. That was our club. We didn't want regular people in it because we're talking, we're doing business. But a nightclub or anything like that was open for everybody all the time. I never saw one that was closed, just to one family. I never heard of that. It's dumb in a way. So I don't do that.
I have Gordon Goat. How did Frank Costello get the nickname the Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister, Frank Costello, had connections with other families, with judges, with politicians, lawyers, you name it, and he had connections. So that's how he got that reputation. And he really did have connections everywhere.
I have Minor G. Sammy El Toro, much respect. Did you ever deal with the Chicago outfit? I love your videos. Always keep up on your channel.
No, I never really had any interactions with Chicago family. No. I knew about them and stuff like that, but I never had any real connections with them. They didn't really become famous until Al Capone. And he was a waiter and a bouncer in a club in Brooklyn. And he got chased from Brooklyn. Gargiulo's was the name of the restaurant he worked in. He was caught in a brawl. And that's how he got that scar on his face. And then he became a heavyweight when he went to Chicago. He wasn't a heavyweight in New York.
Next question comes from PGHDGT. Who taught you most about construction?
Well, construction, all my life I worked in construction as a kid. I was a laborer, I was a carpenter, I was a plumber, different companies I worked in. And later on in life, I started making connections with unions. My brother-in-law, Eddie Garofalo, was a construction guy all his life. So that was right up my alley. He was with me. And we made a lot of connections. And I hooked up with another guy named Joey Madonia. He had a drywall company. We had 200 carpenters working for us. And we were building, we bid on jobs, and we got jobs, and we built buildings. So my biggest thing was in construction. Paul Castellano, it was his favorite thing that he did, because he loved the construction business. So I got a lot of kudos from him, a lot of help from him, and he loved dealing with that. And he started using me as an ambassador to some unions, stuff like that. So I've been in construction most of my life.
I have Steve Jackson. Hey, Sammy, as you probably know, Huck Carbonaro died last month in federal prison serving a 50-year sentence. What was he like as a guy on your crew?
Well, Huck was a pretty good guy. He was a shooter. He was one of us. He was with me a long time. There's a whole story or two that I saw came out about him and what he did, murders that he committed with me. And then I cooperated. And then later on in life, he got a contract to come down and kill me. Him and this guy, Fats Al. And he worked on it, but obviously it was never successful. He knew I would be waiting for that. He knew I would be home. Even the show that it's on, they tell the whole story pretty precise about him. He did a bunch of hits after I cooperated. He was with family. A few guys cooperated on it. Matter of fact, the guy Fat Sally cooperated, got pinched on something else, and he ratted on Peter Gotti and Huck about doing the hit on me, even though it didn't work. And they got pinched. Mikey Scars testified against him too. And I think he got 50 or 70-year sentence. He's been sick for quite a while. He's out of shape. And I think he was 77, and he just died a couple of weeks ago. So there's good things with him. There's bad things with him. I fact he came looking for me, but, that's the life. And kudos to him, I hope that, I'm glad he's not suffering no more in prison. And, I don't wanna talk negative, passed away. I helped him move from the scummy area that he used to live into Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, with his family, they talk about that. Who's that jerk who talks about it? That guy. Huh? All right, look it up. I can tell you who he's, what show talked about him. And me, the whole thing, but that's the thing with him, and he's passed away.
These sponsors and
Has the fast, reliable speeds you're looking for. Get Cox 300 meg internet with a 2-year plan, price lock guarantee, plus equipment included. Switch today. Taxes and fees excluded from price guarantee.
okay.
Okay, I have J. Marie in the super chat. Boss, what was the largest envelope you can remember receiving? And do you remember what it was for?
I received envelopes when I got up in rank as a captain. Further up the line, I became the conseiller, and then the underboss. I mean, I was getting envelopes all over the place. And the biggest one, I don't remember. There were a lot of big ones. There was cut-ups. We got some big money. John would get an end of it. I got it. I would get an end of it. I don't remember one particular one, but they were all, some of them were big, some of them were medium, and some of them were small. But they all counted to me as one. I would look at my ups and downs every week or every month when I would do my books and records and see what was going on. And I was making a lot of money.
Okay, I have Alucard in the super chat. No question, just a comment. You do so much to give quality content. Hopefully you're rewarding and treating yourself as well. You deserve it.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Let's see. This is another one. Clocks 379, also touching on Huck's passing. Sam, hope all is well. You probably know, but Huck passed away, went to wake last Tuesday at Scarpacci's. His daughter Christine worked for me for a while. Stay well, Sam. Great holidays to you and yours.
Thank you so much. Yes, and I heard that Scarpacci's was a place in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, and that's where he was living. Most of us, when we died, or family members, we went to that place, Scarpacci's. It was a connected place. I knew all the owners. My wife, ex-wife, grew up with the daughter of the Scarpacci's. They were really good friends, so I know them for a lot of years, and that's where he was laid out. I'm sure that if he would have known, he would have been happy to be laid up over there. All right, so there's a few people doing interviews about Huck, and that's not where I heard it.
Okay, Aussie Wolfhound in the super chat. Sammy, have you thought about actually releasing a song using the intro music for the beat? It's actually a catchy tune.
What's the tune? Oh, you like that too? Good. All right.
Dylan McNamara, did you know people like Joe Pesci in your mob life? Crazy and erratic.
I knew people, Joe Pesci was an actor, and he acted a part, and there were guys like him. There was a lot of guys like him. And I know another fact, I think he's gonna have a heart attack with this, but Joe Pesci was put in by a guy in the Genovese family who gave him his first break into acting and his acting career. And he was, I don't remember the mob guy's name, but if he hears this, he'll know who it is and what it is. And he played a good part. He was from the neighborhood. He knew a lot of people. I think he played it, very good, but over, a little over the fact. Nobody walked around like that, 100%.
Preferred Bonding wants to know, what is the best linguine and clams in New York?
The best linguine and clams in New York. I really don't know. I think linguine and clams, one restaurant that was very well noted was Mario's in Little Italy. Presidents used to stop and go to this restaurant. They made macaroni clams really, really good. It was Ferraris, which was an extremely famous, till today, very famous bakery. You could buy cannolis and pastries and stuff like that. You could get it delivered all over the country. So we used to eat at Mario's on occasion, and then go right next door to Ferraris and buy some pastries to bring home. But macaroni and clams, I mean, my son makes it great. We went to a restaurant the other day. We had a meeting, my son with me, and I believe he had a plate of macaroni and clams, and it was good. There's a lot of places, macaroni and clams is macaroni and clams. It could be room, I guess, but I've never had that. And macaroni and clams, I used to eat a lot of that at home. You know, my family would eat that. So,
I have Demi Vitale in your chat. She said, "What's the one thing you couldn't forgive?" That's from my mother. If you could pretty please ask, I would really appreciate it. My mother loves the mom.
I didn't,
So Demi is asking on behalf of her mother, what is the one thing you couldn't forgive?
as a mother,
No.
you could say I'm not a mother, I don't know. Well, you can't forgive your mother?
Her mother is asking you, Sammy Gravano, what is the one thing you can never forgive?
You know, betrayal is a very weird thing. I can forgive most anything. If my wife cheated on me, it's going to sound strange, for whatever reason, sometimes it happens. I can forgive that maybe once. I can forgive an argument that I have with anybody. Because a lot of times in an argument, you could say and do something that you regret, that you don't even really mean. So I know I could, so I know other people could do the same thing. I can forgive almost anything. But there is a line of betrayal that I cannot forgive. If you betray somebody to a point that you could hurt them or bury them or get them killed or get them put in prison or destroy their lives, I can't forgive that. Those things I cannot forgive. Betrayal. So, like I said, an argument is one thing. You know, Paul Castellano put it to me one time, and I never forget it. He said, when you point the gun at somebody and pull the trigger, you can't stop the bullet in midair. It hits its target, you could hurt or kill the person you just shot at. Same thing with a bow and arrow. The same thing with words. Words could hurt somebody's relationship big time. You got to be careful with your words. But I could forgive words because somebody can get so mad and say something stupid. I could do that too. I might say something that I regret or that I didn't really mean. I could tell you, man, I'd like to kill you for that. I don't really, like I yelled at my daughter one time, I could kill you for that. Now, do I want to kill my daughter? Absolutely not. I love the shit out of her. Now, it's just a word. It's the wrong word. And I hugged her after that. And of course, I wouldn't do that. So words are important. It's the actions and what happens. If you're really looking to hurt me or my family, I find it hard to forgive that. So,
Okay, I just want to remind everybody, please be very respectful in the chats. No disrespect, and everybody should respect everyone on here. Going back to your super chat, Gas Can Live wants to know, Gumbada, do you think it's strange men go to baby showers in 2025 and are expected to cheer for gender reveals like cheerleaders.
Do I find that strange? Yes, there's no two ways about it. Listen, I went to California weeks ago, and I was in the airport, and we were sitting down waiting, and I went and get coffee, come back, and I came back, there was a guy or a woman, I don't know, who was sitting on, almost like on a counter. And he had a dress on, and jewelry, and makeup, lipstick, and the whole 9 yards, and a full beard. Now, did I find that strange? Yes. I mean, even if you want to be a woman, you should shave your beard at least and wear those clothes. But I find that a little strange. I went, but it's been around for years. Cross dresses, whatever you want to call them. There was even used to have shows with that. All the entertainment were dressed, they were all beautiful women, but they were men. They did movies about it, funny movies. Today, I find it a little strange. Now, if I'm in an airport and I go in the men's room and I'm standing next to a urinal and a woman comes in, beautiful dress, she looks beautiful, she picks up her dress and she's pissing like I'm pissing, I find that very strange. So if you want to be a woman, be a woman. If you want to be gay, but of course some of these things are a little strange. When it comes down to the schools trying to teach kids, little boys, teach 6, 7, 8 years old, and he want to make him wear a dress and do this and that, and you're brainwashing the kid at that age, I'm against that 100,000%. Or doing it to a girl. I'm against that 100%. Now, when you're older, if you want to be a girl, be a girl. If you want to be a boy and you're really a girl, then do it. Go for the operations, do whatever you want to do. But some of it I find strange. Some of it I don't find it strange. Gays have been around hundreds and hundreds of years. The beginning of time, the Roman Empire, the gladiators used to go out, flag wheels and gay shit going on. It's around 100,000 years. So it doesn't shock me at all. But some of the things they're doing is so outrageous that, you know, I saw a video, a guy was stopped with a car. And they asked for his ID and stuff like that. And he says, he declares himself a cat. He's not a man, he's not a woman, he's a cat. And the cop was stunned. You're a cat? He said, we can arrest you for that. Cats are not allowed to drive. So I thought that was strange. I laughed my ass off. But things that they're doing and saying today, some of them are really off the wall. I actually find them funny. I'm not sure if it's a joke or reality, but some of these things, they're okay with me. You could be whatever you want to be in life. As long as it doesn't bother me or my family, I can care less. Whatever you want to be. You want to be a cat, you want to be, a dog. You want to be a light post. I'll put a light bulb up your ass. I don't care. Whatever you want to be, you can be.
Question from Instagram. This is from David. Where was the first time that you met Michael Francis?
The first time I met Michael Francis, I think in a prison setting, I didn't know Michael Francis on the street. I'm a little older than he is. I think I'm 6 years older than him, or 7 years older than him. I heard of him once or twice, but I didn't know him on the street.
Missing in action on TikTok would like to know, I'm going to New York in 2 weeks' time. Anything worth seeing other than the usual?
It's different, but you'll love it.
Like how it's smaller to put overhead costs.
Gotta go save some money.
Differences that save you money. It's an Aldi.
You're not leaving a bad impression. Man's Clean Clear
the hot tub is broken, but thanks to Verbo Care, 24/7 better place, better hot tub.
Got any room for that?
Maybe get teenagers are full of surprises. Verbo is not. If you know, you Verbo.
Loading.
Anything worth seeing in New York other than like the
So
usual?
there's a lot of things to see, you know, the Empire State Building, there's certain things, Wall Street, it's noted for the whole stock market and everything like that. The Empire State Building, there's so many places that are beautiful. New York, years ago, I'm looking at it one way, I haven't been there in a lot of years. I've been in prisons, Arizona, different places. But everybody, I know a lot of people from their friends, family. New York is deteriorating in a big way. Now, I just did a video about the 3 guys running for office. Now, I can't understand all 3 of them. I wouldn't vote for and none of them. I don't know how they're voting for any of these 3 guys. And this is part of the deterioration of the country, and it's going to be a deterioration of New York. Now, I saw a whole thing came out this morning that if one guy, what's his name, Mamdani, if he wins, over 1 million New Yorkers want to move. Now, you don't have to do that. Why are you voting him in? If that's the way you feel about him. I think he's got a lot of baggage when he comes in. I really don't know how he's going to conduct himself. Sleewa is another guy. He's got baggage most of his life. I don't know which one you like. Cuomo's got baggage. He's probably the most best. And here's what. I don't like Cuomo. I'll tell you why I think he would be the best. He fucked up as a governor. So I think if he wins as being the mayor, he's going to try everything humanly possible to be a great mayor, to cover up what he did as a governor, if that makes any sense to you. And that's why I think he would probably be the best pick.
Choose debt funds that are continue to learn. Hey, sign up with Clark. No credit attached apply.
We can tell you Carl's Jr.'s new $5.99 Cali XL burger has doubled the meat for Big Mac less. Or we can show you the new Cali XL. More meat, not more expensive. Only at Carl's Jr.
Playing next video button.
What you get?
You have a comment in the super chat. Johnny Z says, Sammy, I heard that the candy you passed out to kids on Halloween was just a loan and you charged a vig.
What?
Sammy, I heard the candy that you passed out to kids on Halloween was just a loan and you charged a vig.
It's not true. It's not true.
All right. I just, sorry, that was actually really cute and funny. I want to remind everybody, pretty please, in the chat, stay respectful.
What were your thoughts on Mob Wars, Philly versus the Mafia?
The movie that just came out, yeah, I didn't see it yet. I didn't see it. What is it?
That'll be your assignment.
Yeah, that-
You're gonna watch it.
Well, it's really ridiculous. There's a lot of tough guys in Philadelphia. A lot of them, I know a lot of guys. I did work with them, I did a lot of things with them, tough guys there. To overcome 5 families coming for you. And it's not just 5 families. Those 5 families, 3 of them have connections in Italy, Sicily, Italian mafia. They had connection with the Irish mob in Hell's Kitchen. You're not fighting them. You're not fighting order. They had connections with black guys, black mafia. There was interactions with them with numbers in sports and all kinds of things. Drugs. You don't want to fuck with the whole 5 families in New York. You'd be fighting a losing battle. And they would be hooking up with guys like I knew Philadelphia guys. If there was a war, some of those guys would be saying, well, help you. Because we're friends. You would be fighting half your own people and the whole 5 families. You would get crushed so fast, you wouldn't know what hit you. And I didn't see the movie, but it's ridiculous. And then they got what, Joey Molino running it? And he was gonna fight the whole 5 families? I saw him doing the umbrella dance. I mean, maybe he can suck the whole 5 families, but whatever the fuck it is, he does. But, it's hard for me to understand. You can't win. Even when you're fighting from one family to another, it goes up to the commission, they tell you to stop. This is the reason why, this. If you define the rest of the families, and they're all coming at you, it's too much. It's impossible.
Okay, I have Michael Scarlata in your super chat. Do you think that there will ever be an authentic mafia movie again? It feels like so many Italian actors in the 80s and 90s grew up in and around the life. They brought a realism to the roles.
Yeah, well, I tell you, about one scripted show that should happen, right now it's not happening, about me and my life. And it's not just about my life, my scripted show. It's about the whole 5 families. It's about Philadelphia, our involvement there, the involvement in Canada with the Badano family had a crew there.
Correction, it's not that it's not happening, it's just on hold.
It's on hold. It's not happening. It's on hold right now because of different things in Hollywood. But I think that would be a great movie. It's because it's not just about me. I mean, a lot of it is. But, and the people I'm working with, Nick Pileggi, Terry Winter, all these people, Harry Kaplan, they like truth. So when I talk truth with them all the time, and they do a lot of background. They talk to FBI, CIA, NYPD, people, they've been calling people, asking them questions. I get a friend of mine, I know 30, 40 years, Sammy, they called me up and they were asking me questions about this, and this. So I said, all right, what'd you tell them? He says, well, I was talking with them. I gotta tell them the truth. So, and I know there's gonna be parts that I watch that I'm not gonna like. But I think that's the way an audience should see one movie. It has to have a lot of truth to it. Of course, they always put in Hollywood stuff, but I think the more truthful it is, the more exciting and the more you like the movie. So I'm all for it. Whether I like it or not, I am all for it. So, and that'll happen.
Renato back in your super chat. Zusemi Salute. Explain what happens in Cosa Nostra family when the boss passes away. Grazie.
When the boss passes away, and it's not over a war or a murder, just natural causes, like Carlo Gambino did, the captain family turn around and they're gonna vote a boss in. That's the way it's supposed to be all the time. Now, certain people put up their name, the underboss may put up his name, a captain over here, a captain over there, will put their names in, and then vote. The captains vote in this guy, that's what bosses. That's the way it's done, whether you like it or not. So, it is, that's the way Paul became the boss. When Carlo died, Paul, let me answer that question. Paul, Carlo Gambino on his deathbed said, if I die, I want my brother-in-law or cousin, whatever it was, Paul Castellano to be boss. Neil was in jail. He was the underboss, O'Neill. Paul said, I'm not gonna hold a vote because the underboss is in prison and he's coming out soon. When he comes out, I'm gonna talk to him. And he did. I was part of the security when they met. I wasn't in the meeting, but I was part of the security. And Paul Castellano said, if you want to put your name in, you're the underboss. I want to give you time. Neil said to Paul, I've been in prison for quite a while. I don't know what's going on. If Carl wanted you to be the boss, then I'm not going to put my hat in the ring and I will back you to be the boss. I could be your underboss, or I could break me down to a captain, whatever you want, Paul. And Paul said, no, I want you to be my underboss if I become the boss. They both agreed that day and left. And there was a vote, and Paul won the vote. And he did make Neil his underboss. So that's the way it was done, orderly. Now, when Paul was killed, John became the boss. It was totally different. It's a murder. It's a whole thing involved. And there's a vote. We voted, but they were all scared. When they voted, I was there. I didn't vote. I wasn't a captain yet. Angelo Ruggiero was there. I had a gun. Angelo had a gun. And we were standing behind the captains who were going to vote. They're not stupid. So they voted John in. First guy to vote was Frankie Chico. He was part of the plan. Frankie Chico said, I vote John Gotti to be boss. Me and Angelo were standing behind them. They went right around the table. Nobody wanted to put their name in the hat, throw their name in. So you won out of fear. We just became the boss. We're in a war. We won. They went along with what we did. And that's a different thing. But if it's just like when Carl died, he gave his blessings to Paul, to all the captains, told them, and they all went along with it. And he had the decency to wait for Neil to get out of prison. He was waiting a couple months more, and he waited. And he gave him an option.
Next super chat question is from Pizza Dave. Hey Sammy, were the auto body shops around your office on Stillwell Ave, were they mobbed up and did you have a piece of any of them?
They were mobbed up to the gills. There was more cars stolen and put into those auto body shops than you got hair on your head. And I didn't have a piece of one of those. Lou Marino was in the car business a lot. He had a piece of my auto body shop, but it wasn't Stillwell. It was in Staten Island place. But I wasn't one of the car guy. I was never really a car guy.
Find their perfect state, anyone can. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
Comes, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years, from 5 Halloweens to 5 4th of Julys. Same price, guaranteed. Comes, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speed for use after 20 gigs.
Everybody knows.
Best thing ever thought of the month, it would be Tummy Time.
Their rebel and gentle behavior is terrorist. Junior, Levin, and extracts that base ingredients of that as we cook to determine contact.
10% off your first order at TummyTime.com.
Okay.
Next super chat question comes from Anubis. Sammy, why did Jerry Papa kill Ralph and Shorty Sparrow? Was it revenge for the killing of Jimmy Emma?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what it was about. He killed Ralph Sparrow right in front of his house. Ralph Sparrow was able to run a little bit. He dove under a park car thinking he'd be safe. The guy who was on the head put the shotgun low and kept shooting. And he died under the car. Shorty Sparrow went nuts. His brother was killed. And he was bent on trying to find out who did it. There was a guy there who was with Papa, and he was a brother-in-law to Shorty Sparrow. I'm trying to think of his name as I talk. He got in touch with Shorty and said, Jerry Papa, I think knows who killed your brother. Jerry Papa had a club on Big Parkway. Shorty went there by himself to meet Papa. Papa and his guys killed him. They dug a hole in the basement of the office, put him in there, and covered it up. Reconcreted the whole thing. That's where he was. The guy, Joey, I can't think of his name, came to my house. I was there with my wife in Staten Island. I think my wife knows the story a little bit. She came to my house and he said, Sammy, I need your help. I know him a lot of years. I said, for what? What happened? I was made already. He said, I'm sure he's brother-in-law. And I told him that Papa knew. I saw him. And his nephew or somebody, the guy Angelo, his name was, they knew that, or thought he said no. And they were asking questions. He was afraid he was going to get killed. And that's what he told me. I said, Joey, I'm going to go in the bedroom. My wife heard this. Because she was in there when I got up. I'm going to go in the bedroom. In my drawer, I have a gun. You know how close I was to Shorty? Send me my fucking ass. I'm going to go in there. In my drawer, I got a gun. When I come back out, if you're here in my house, I'm going to kill you in my fucking house. On the way to my bedroom, my wife gripped my arm. I pushed her the fuck off. I was going to kill him right in my fucking house. I loved Shorty. He really was a good guy to me, always. He took off. When I came out, he wasn't there. My wife started to talk. I said, Dad, please don't even talk. I'm steaming inside. Don't talk. What are you going to ask me? Was I going to kill him? Yes, is the answer. So don't talk to me, please. It didn't happen. So yes, Papa and his guys killed Ralph Sparrow and then Shorty Sparrow. Later on, it all came out. Jerry Papel was killed by his own people, Jerry's. That's another whole story. You'll see in my book.
Okay, moving on to another super chat. I have a super chat from Surviving the Strange. They said, I sent a DM on Instagram. Somehow my dad knew Sammy before I was born. He never told me how. He passed recently. I just want to thank Sammy for giving us something we bonded over with his videos. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, sorry for your loss. And thank you so much.
Dylan McNamara, would you ever do a podcast with the Gemini twins, and where are they since they got released?
I have no idea where they are. I think they really did change their life. That's what they said in prison, that they changed their life around. They were quiet. I don't know where they went, changed their name, whatever they did. Would I do a podcast with them? Yes. Listen, they were under orders of Word of Mouth. They did a lot of ugly shit, but they were under orders. And I changed my life, they changed their life. I would definitely do an interview with them, if they wanted. But if they want to be quiet, and I don't blame them, God bless. I hope that they make it in whatever business or whatever they do. They're true tough guys. You can't take it away. These guys are true tough guys. But I give them all the respect in the world. I don't try to reach out for them or say anything to them. If they hear it, say it. But I've sent messages a couple times. Right now I'm on parole. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do it. But if I was allowed to do it, yes, I would.
Another super chat from well-known local. Sammy, you said you advised John not to kill Favara, but in our thing, you said you really communicate with John on a personal level until 1985.
I did communicate with John. What I said is that we didn't come tight. It was a little bit before 85 that we became tight. I said I never grew up with him. He wasn't my friend. But when I got made before him, I got made in 1976. He got made in 1977. He helped a friend of mine in prison. And I saw him one night first time I met him. He came into Frankie and Chico's club. I was there standing at the bar. Every time Frankie opened the club, I was always there to push it, make it, work. And I was with Frankie and Chico's father, Boozy, who was a maid guy. I was a maid guy. And John walked in with his little entourage of 4 or 5 guys. And Boozy told me, he says, you know this kid, John? I said, I heard of him. And I didn't know him. I said, but he helped my friend in prison. My friend had trouble with black guys. He robbed them, he did something. And they were going to hurt him. John stepped to the plate, straightened it out, because he heard that he was my friend. And he didn't even know he did me that favor. So when he came in, I bought him a drink. How you doing, John? I hear a lot of good things about you, bro. And I appreciate your help, my friend in prison. And he said, Sam, it's my pleasure. As soon as I found out, they were going to hurt me. But as soon as I found out, I paid the tab that he owed. He robbed them. And I made sure that he didn't get touched. I said, I appreciate it. He went in the back and played craps and talked with Frank and Chico. That's when I met him. And I got closer and closer with him. When my father died, he came to the funeral with 4, 5, 6 guys. And to, would give us condolences and stuff like that. I became a little closer. My mother died the same day, came down. And I started having a relationship and a friendship with her. When before Paul died, and he had his problems, we all knew about it. He needed help. And he came to me, Val, with my crew. He came to Frankie and Chico with his crew. Without those crews, it couldn't be done. And so I got closer and closer. Anthony Castellano, of course, we were super close. Now, when his son was hit by a car accident, and he was killed, I went and see him, of course, right away. And he had told me there was rumor that he was going to kill the neighbor, the guy who was in the car accident. And I went to him and I told him, I think you're making a mistake if you do this. It was a car accident. The guy didn't mean it. He said, Sammy, my wife is driving me fucking crazy. She's telling me you're a tough guy. You killed our son. He went to the house to apologize. They couldn't say no with back. He said, my wife is driving me crazy. I said, whatever it is that, but I think if you do this, people are gonna hate you. He's a legitimate guy who's a car accident. And they're gonna put 2 and 2 together. They may not indict you because they don't have evidence, but they're gonna hate you. Don't do it. He went to Florida with his wife and he had his guys do it. I had no control over it, at all. I gave him my advice, he did what he did, and that's it. And then in the movie, they try to blame me for it. I had nothing to do.
Okay, I'm gonna ask 2 more questions and then we have to wrap it up. Provost 77, hi Sammy, do most captains designate their most trusted soldier to be a buffer between him and the rest of his crew? Also, which captains ran the most efficient crews?
A lot of captains ran a good crew, even guys who are tough guys. You know, it's how the relationship between you and your guys. So I think they all ran a pretty tight ship, good ship. And did I put some guys above other guys in my crew? Yeah, yes, of course. There's always that one guy, Steinman was one of them, Joe Perulo was one of them. But that doesn't mean I didn't love Johnny Holmes or Michael Gabbard or Mickey Cowboy or on and on and on. I love them all. They were my crew. To me, I told them all, my crew is untouchable. They're my dogs. Don't fuck with my dog. If you do something to my dog, I will come at you. I had an argument with Greg Scott Jr. one time. And he told me, he said, Sammy, we have these situations. Your guy comes, I'll hurt him. My guy comes to you, you'll hurt him. We gotta come together in this argument. I said, bro, you got it all fucked up. If you kill one of my guys, I'm not gonna come back and kill one of your guys. I'm gonna kill you. That's the way I dealt with it. That's the way I felt. You're not gonna touch any of my guys. If one of my guys have to go for a reason, I'll do it. Nobody's gonna punish my kid but me. So, I put some guys ahead that were closer to me. Like I said, Steinman, super, super close to me. The old man Peru was super, super close to me. And I'm still close with their families.
You okay? Sponsor.
money.
Concentrate, looking at 11. And
Okay, I'm going to ask two more questions. Before I do that, Eugene, in the super chat, you asked about Johnny Keys. Elaborate that question, please, that I can ask Sammy so you can get your answer. Now, moving on to the next super chat, I have Brian Mack. Any thoughts on the 1996 Gotti where William Forsythe played you and Armando Santi as Gotti?
I thought it wasn't a bad movie. I don't think he played me well. He didn't look like me. I think he was a foot taller than me. So, I mean, I don't know, but it wasn't bad.
Nick Turturro actually looked like you, though, in Witness to the Mob.
Yeah, that was a movie way before, but I did an interview with Nick Turturro, just recently. And, he looks a little bit more like me. I wish he would have more information about me. I think he could have played a better part. But I know him, he's a great actor. I talk to him, we're friends. And if I do something, I may use him because he is a good actor. I like him.
And the last one would be from Nurk. Sammy, you probably get asked this question a lot. What music were you guys listening to back then? I know you had the long hair, you blamed the Beatles.
You know, the Beatles were famous. I did have, everybody wanted up their hair. They grew their hair longer during the Beatle days. You see when I got arrested with my compadre Ali, boy, I come out, my fucking hair was over my ears. What was the black music? No, I didn't like, I always liked jazz, rhythm and blues. No, it was Soul Train.
Oh.
Yeah, so I liked their music, and all of them, Sinatra, Demon, I liked all of that stuff. All of the stuff that came out in the 60s, 70s, stuff like that. I liked all that stuff. I like music. I do like music. When I sit down alone, I play on YouTube, they have these music channel, and I listen to rhythm and blues. I have a cup of coffee, cigar, chill, I think back, and I think Amina wants to close it down. She's giving me dirty.
Wait, before we close it down. So just answer Eugene's question real quick. Thank you, Janet. I think you might have cleared it up. Eugene wants to know if Johnny Keys could have done something differently that would have prevented him from being killed. Could Johnny Keys have done something differently that prevented him from being killed? Okay, and was Johnny, well, here's another one. Could Johnny Keys have been more smart to detect that you were not straight and that he was there to kill? So you were there to kill Johnny. Is there a way that he could have done something differently to detect that?
I could have been that, but remember, when I sent Nicky Russo and Al Joey, I said, you tell him that Paul wants to send you a message. He's going to send this guy, it's a young guy. He just got made, Sammy, he didn't say Paul, just Sammy. A jerk off and a bitch. But he brings back messages that are precise. I planted that in his head. When I came in, I was banged around, pushed around, elbowed. They wanted to see me flare up. But I acted like a bitch. No, come on, bro, what are you doing? I'm here with a message. I told him. I made it look like I was scared. To fit that bill. When I talked to him, he good conversations going backwards and forwards. At one point, when I saw him thinking, and I said, John, I'm so nervous, I'm so scared. I can't, my mouth is dry. Can I get something to drink? I took his wine off because they had told me he's a smart guy, cunning guy, and he's a thinker. If he thinks for 1 minute that you're fake, you're going in the basement, they're gonna torture you to find out the truth, and then they're gonna kill you. So when he started thinking, I made that bullshit reason up, he says, get him a glass of water. And he told me, I'll never forget, you're in over your head, kid. I said, I know that, but I gotta bring these messages back and forth. And he says, I know. You're everything they told me. I know, I'm the one who told them what to say. So he believed it. And I never showed any kind of temper or anything. Matter of fact, meaning when I was walking out, there was a big guy, and he was right in my way. And I told him, excuse me. And he gave me an elbow right in my side. Knocked the fucking wind out of me. It really hurt. I buckled up and I said, come on, bro. What are you doing? I wanted to eat his face. I smiled at him, and he smiled back. My smile was, because Johnny Keats were going to come to the meeting where I was going to. I smiled at him because I was saying in my head, I hope you come to this fucking meeting too. Because I would kill him. But I played it to the team. When we got in the car, one of the things he said to him, he said, Sammy, a punk, a bitch, a jerk off. The whole fucking 5 families in New York and half of Philadelphia couldn't have me sitting in this fucking truck like you. You're a master head guy. You calmed me. And he asked me, when you wanted that fucking water, you took my mind away from what I was thinking, didn't you? I said, yes, I did. It's going to be a movie. There's people working on it. It's going to be that. The Johnny Keats hit itself is going to be a movie. I'm working on it. It's in progress. I'll put it that way.
Okay, I just want to say a couple more things and then you can take us out. Redman, I will get to your question next week. Francisco, Demi, Ryan. Oh, hey, Demi, sweetheart, welcome back. I will answer all of your guys' questions on the next live. Bossman, take us out.
Check us out. I'm going to talk for another 15 minutes. All right, guys. Listen, adios, motherfuckers.
We're in the meeting.
Don't know Domino's at 99. That's the 11. Stick your crust. Maybe hand pizza. Free crust. Hey, you can for different types of cheeses. Free pepper. And get it all for under $10. Only at
Play next video button.
But we'll see what happens. And I'm sure there's people, when you, and a lot of people hate big corporations, but we all work for them. Now, if you get big corporations moving out of New York, that's going to deteriorate the whole city. So you need rich people You need people in the middle, you need people who are broke, you need the whole batch. So, when this guy Mandani gets in, he's saying, I'm gonna give you free buses, free this, free that, free food, free stores, free this. Where's he gonna get the money from? All of you New Yorkers, that's where he's gonna get it from. And he's gonna give it